Hi, welcome to third tutorial of today. In this third tutorial, we will look at how to organize objects in drawings and also to use the inquiry command. And in this drawing organization, we will talk about working with layers. And what is meant by layers is when things get a lot in a drawing. For example, there are objects with yellow colors, some with red colors. How we organize is through using layers. If we have organized the objects with layers, next is we will talk about how to change object properties, for example like line thickness, line shape, and also the colors using the object properties. Properties, it can be two kinds. One is using the panels properties, and second is to use quick properties. So here, let's look at a new drawing. Inside this drawing, I would come out three objects. First is circle. Next is rectangle. And the third would be polygon, for example. So in the screen we have three objects. If I want to organize these three objects into my layers, let's take a look at our layer here. This is our layer panel. If I drop down the layer here, there's only one layer available, which is 0 layer. So by default, in a new drawing, there will be a 0 layer available in that drawing, which is cannot be deleted. So I'll go on to have a look at the layer properties by clicking this icon here to call out our layer properties. So this is our layer properties manager to manage our layers, and to size it to have a better look, you can mouse over to the middle here and you can scale it to the side. And probably you want to have a better look of the layers properties, you can also mouse over to the side of the table here and you can just drag it to the right. And each of the objects or properties here can be adjustable, and I shall just move to the right for every single panels here to have a better look of them. So I have just created the objects in this layer. This is the layer which we are using right now because it has a tick at the side, which is current layer. So here I want to create few more new layers. By clicking new layer, I'll type in the first new layer as circle and repeat the same step again for rectangle. Third layer is polygon. By clicking outside empty space, you fix the layer words. So here I have three layers. These three layers will hold the properties of the objects for on-off, freeze, lock, color, line type, line weight, plot style, and whether you want it to be printed or you want it to be viewed in the viewport in the paper space. Let's take a look at the circle layer first. For a circle layer, I want the color to be of other than white color. So I can just click on the color and select my color in the dialog box. So in this color dialog box, there is 3 kinds of colors you can choose. First is inside the tab of index color. Second is true color, and where you can slide down, up to choose the density of the color, or inside the color book. So as you can see, there are many colors, variety, and plenty of colors that we can choose from. So for example, for our circle here, I want it to be red color. So I click red and click OK. For polygon, I want it to be different color than white. So click on the icon white color again and choose, for example, I want it to be green. Just click OK. And do the same for rectangle layer. So later on, we will take a look at these 3 different colors layers. So after changing the colors of the 3 different layers, now I want to make circle layer current. So I can select the circle layer and click set current. So when I set current, then I can see the tick is next to circle. And I can just auto hide the panel because it would be space obstruction. Just now I have made circle layer current, so I can see the layer is now shown in the layer panel. So when I select circle, it will show this is in the layer of 0 because I've just created the object in the layer 0. If I want to move it to circle layer, I can simply drop down the layer, and when I drop down this layer, I can see circle, polygon, and rectangle layers available. To move it to the circle layer, I can just mouse over to circle layer and click. Now the object circle becomes red color because it is following the color as shown in the layer of circle. Do the same for rectangle and polygon. Simply just select it, move it to rectangle, and the same goes to polygon, move to polygon. So now I have circle, I have rectangle, which is in the layer of rectangle, polygon in the layer of polygon. So by having these 3 objects organized well in different layers here, I can easily control them by manipulating the properties in the layers. For example, I want the layer circle to be off, so I can mouse over to the on off button here, which is like a bulb, but just simply click on the bulb here, and it will ask the current layer will be turned off. What do you want to do? This is because circle layer is current. If the layer is current, it would prompt out the message to show you whether you want to turn the current layer off. If I want to proceed, I just click turn the current layer off. Then you can see in the screen that the circle is off because the bulb is just turned off. If I on it back, then it appears again. Besides on off, I can also lock the layer. The freeze and on off would actually mean about the same. It's to control the visibility. Lock is to lock out the layer so that you do not accidentally change the objects in that property, in that layer. So let's take a look at the line type. Currently the line type that I have is just continuous one type only. I can choose to load more line types in the list. So I can choose all of them by holding the shift button and click OK. And all of them would be just loaded inside the dialog box. Probably I want circle to be in hidden line, and I can just click OK. So line type, if I want it to be thicker, I can just choose a thicker line type. So in the screen you can see the line type is changed to hidden, and the thickness is not shown because you need to turn on the show and hide line type. So the next is you can play the same to polygon and rectangle. So if I want to lock the layer of polygon, now when I mouse over to the layer of polygon, it will show a lock sign at the cursor, which means it is locked, and I cannot move it, I cannot change it, I cannot mouse over to the grip and change the shape. And rectangle layer, I can try to change the line type to, for example, zigzag. Immediately it takes effect to the rectangle in the screen. So if I want it to be thicker, can just choose it. But if the line type, I choose back to normal, which is continuous. Then it would show the effect in the screen that this is of a thicker line. So this is the concept of layers, where you can control the properties of the objects using the properties you can see in the layers earlier on. For example, now I'm in the layer of circle. So whatever shape that I made in the layer of circle would be hidden line type and also red color. If I change it to polygon, since polygon is locked, if I draw something in polygon layer, it would become locked as well. So with the understanding of the layers, we would move on to take a look at the properties. To activate the command or call out the properties panels, you can just type PRO for properties, the first few letters of the word, and spacebar to continue. And try PR. When you call out the properties panel, it will show at the left hand side. So if you call out any panels as such with gray color on top, you can mouse over to the gray color taskbar here and drag it out. Hold your left click and drag it out. This is floating state. If you want to fix it to the left hand side, move the panel all the way to the left, and it will dock it to the left hand side. So let's check our circle. If I click on the circle, the properties panel here will show all the information or details of this object. This circle will show me radius of 100. So using properties, I can change the radius becomes 200, which is bigger. If I enter, it would immediately take effect in the screen, and it will show me diameter is 400. If I want it to be 150, I can just type in and hit enter. So using properties panels, I can control the color by using by layer, which is following the color of the layer, or by the object color. So the current layer for circle would be in the layer circle. So if I want to change it to other layers, I can also choose in the list. These are the layers that I created earlier. Besides having the properties panels, we can also change properties by turning these quick properties on at the bottom. If I turn on these quick properties, so whenever I click on any objects in the workspace, the quick properties panel would show in the screen. So this is the quick properties. If I click on the rectangle, then the quick properties appear. Quick properties will show you the quick information of the objects that you need to know. For example, color, layer, line type. So this is polyline. The same go to polygon, which is in the layer polygon. So if I want to unlock the layer of polygon, I can just mouse over to the polygon layer and click the lock sign. Now it becomes unlocked. So whenever I select the portion here, it will show me there are 2 polygons. Number 2 are selected, and their information are as such. These quick properties might be annoying sometimes. You can turn off the quick properties anytime you wish. So next is, let's take a look at this example here. This is a layout of a building where you can see there's base assembly, box storage, drawer front card, drawer hardware area. Basically this is all about hardware factory plant. So in this exercise, we will take a look at the layers they have for these objects. If I want to check out the layers, I can simply just click on it and check out this is in the layers of finish line. If I click on the layers, I can check out the layers available for this drawing. So for example, I want to take a look at this portion. And this portion, the layer is UV pump room addition. So the rest I want to hidden and just look at this layer. All I need to do is just call out the layer properties manager. Ctrl A, select all the layers. Click on the bulb sign to turn all the layers off. I want to just make this layer visible, others off. So what I need to do is just turn on the bulb for this UV pump layer and make it current. Now in my drawing, I can just see the objects for UV pump room addition. So here, I will show you on the ways of selecting objects. There are two ways. First is left to right selection, another is right to left selection. Do you see the difference between these two? So if it is left to right selection, this is blue color and this is green. So what are the differences between these two selections? Let's take a look at the first, which is green color selection, right to left. If looking at this layout here, using the green selection, I want to choose the 4 circles, including the small parts here. If I want to choose these 4 circles only using the green selection like this, so what are included in this selection? If I just click, so any objects which is touched in this green selection are selected. So how about the blue selection, which is left to right? If I from left to right click, which is blue color, and click, so this blue selection would only select the objects within the box of blue color. If I just wanted to select the circles and the small box here without the red line, what I need to do is just hold on my shift button, select back the objects I do not want. So this is the 4 circles and small components that I want to select, and probably I want to hidden them by putting it into hardware. So I can just select them, mouse over to the PW hardware and click it. And then they are hidden in the layers. So layers are important in drawings as to organize our objects and also to control the visibility and other properties.